Hi, my name is Masood Tariq and I'm a certified ethical hacker. So, in order to talk about vulnerability analysis or vulnerability assessment, we need to understand basics of what vulnerability analysis is or what this vulnerability assessment is. Vulnerability analysis is a continuous process and is a security operation. There are many kind of assessments and many kind of vulnerability analysis. A few of them consist of, but not limited to, host assessment, network assessment, database assessment, or web application assessment. All of these vulnerability analysis and assessments, they have to go through the scanning process, the security scanning process. That security scanning process further can it is a 4 major step process. Those four major steps are vulnerability identification, analysis of the vulnerabilities, risk assessment, and finally the remediation. My thought process behind vulnerability analysis is based on these 4 major steps. Having said all, there is a baseline setup. That baseline is based off the CVSS score. The vulnerability analysis is performed on a regular basis to identify the existing vulnerabilities. Remediation is done depending upon the CVSS baseline. Analysis is performed on existing infrastructure as well as when there is an addition or a new system is added or introduced. Also, I very closely follow the CISA bulletins and zero-day vulnerabilities, which are reported via various security blogs and security specialists. If there is zero-day that has been reported, an ad hoc vulnerability assessment is performed to find out that if such vulnerability exists on any of the existing nodes or hosts. To beat a hacker, you have to think like a hacker. The CEH course enabled me to learn about various tools, techniques, and tactics that an attacker can use to penetrate and invade an organization's network and infrastructure. The course gave me a confidence and a better position to think like a hacker, which further enhanced my abilities to protect the organization, its data, the users, and their identities. It helped me to provide better feedback and results to strengthen and secure the existing defense mechanisms. Also, the course provided an in-depth knowledge of the vulnerability mechanism and how it shall be carried out in a real-world scenario. Vulnerability assessment and analysis is one of the most critical and important factors for any organization's IT infrastructure. There are many reasons and benefits of performing routine and regular vulnerability analysis. A few of the important benefits and the advantages that I have learned from my experience of performing the vulnerability assessment on a regular basis: proactive identification of the vulnerabilities. It minimizes and eliminates the misconfiguration at the SDLC stage. Quickly respond to the threats, maintains and the compliance requirements, automates the scanning and patching process. So in short, you are ahead of the game if you have a better planned vulnerability analysis. Technology helps improve businesses by creating a more efficient work environment. Vulnerability assessment or the vulnerability management creates a healthier ecosystem by identifying and remediating the vulnerabilities that could cause severe harm, resulting in the legal, financial, or reputational losses. False positives. What are false positives? So false positives occurs when the scanning tool or web application firewall or intrusion prevention system incorrectly flags a security vulnerability. Having said all of that, any alert that has been received, either false or true, it has to be investigated and triaged. For me, if there is a report or if something has been identified, doesn't matter if it's true or false, it has to be identified and assessed. If it's been identified as true positive, appropriate action needs to be taken. If it is identified as a false positive, then I try to understand that why this false positive has occurred. So this basically enables me to this whole assessment enables me to prevent these false positives to occur again in the future. As I always believe, if there is an alert, it has to be acted upon. So we have to configure the system and you have to configure a security mechanism so robust that there should be very less chances of receiving the false positives. So there are various type of vulnerability analysis tools which are available in the market, and or open source, as well as you can just go ahead and purchase the licenses. These analysis, these tools, they are the base of the type of system they have. They can scan. There could be network-based scanning tools. There could be host-based scanning tools. There are database scanning tools. In my experience so far, I have used and exercised multiple tools, both open source as well as the enterprise ones. I have used the OpenVAS open source vulnerability scanning tool in the capacity of learning and finding out vulnerabilities in the lab environments. The others that I have used are Nessus, Tenable, and the one that I have used the most is Nexpose Rapid7.